Did you know that St. Luke's University Health Network has been recognized by the U.S. government as the highest performing health system in the United States for quality? You heard right. St. Luke's #1 recognition affirms our status as the top leader among the most respected healthcare providers in the nation, including Houston Methodist and the Mayo Clinic. To state it simply, if you want to receive the best care when you go to a hospital, come to St. Luke's.
Excuse me! Taxi! What are you doing? This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Absolutely. And joining us now, because who better? He's written so many great books about the presidents. The great Bill O'Reilly. Bill, take it away.
Where do you want me to take it, Rita? I can take it all over the place. What do you want to know today?
Well,
whatever you have emotion about today.
Yeah, we got a lot of emotion, Bill.
Okay. I gave President Trump a report card today on the No Spin News and the message of the day on BillO'Reilly.com. And if you look at the policies one by one, and the way I evaluate the policies is not ideology, but do they help primarily working class Americans, because that's the majority of us. And he's done very well on those. Inflation is down. Get the report on Friday. The unemployment rate's under control. A lot of prices coming down, not insurance premiums. Really have to work on that. And some food. But if you go to Costco or places like that, you can neutralize a lot of these price. You're going to go to Whole Foods. I don't know who advertises on WABC, but those are premium places. And John knows that people buy groceries with an eye on the price. But you have to shop around. And if you do, you're not going to get hurt that badly. Gas down. Utilities, though, are very stubborn. So on the economy, which is the main driver for next November, I'd say you got a B after 1 year, which isn't bad because it was heading south real fast under Biden. Foreign affairs pretty good, particularly Gaza. Boy, that was a tough one, and he calmed that down. And but people, Americans don't vote on foreign policy. It is the messaging that is the problem for the Trump administration. He's got too many people saying stuff that upset the voters. Kristi Noem is a good example of that. Mm-hmm. You've got to centralize your messaging. And I don't think President Trump should be the primary messenger, which he is now, on a plane and working on a tarmac to the airport, things like that. Because you've got to really have an idea of what the press is trying to do. And 80% of the time, they're trying to make the president look bad.
And they have that special messaging, Bill O'Reilly, where they manage to take the billions and billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars that might be missing, and turn it around and make President Trump the bad guy instead of them being the bad guys.
Well, let me give you a very vivid example that even Senator Schumer could understand. And that's how far I'm going here. When ICE comes in and arrests people, they are putting them in detention. And Americans inherently don't like that. They want to know why they're in detention. Well, it's easy for criminal aliens. It's easy. Okay, the guy committed rape. The guy did this, guy did that. We got to detain him. But there are other aliens, migrants, who are taken in who are not charged with serious crimes. But you know why many of them are taken in? Because they have not shown up for their court hearings.
So, Bill, let me ask you, how does this get solved? Because you're hitting up great points. But how does Trump turn this around? How does he solve this?
Rita, it's very simple. You've got, when you take people in to detain them, foreign nationals, there's got to be categories. This person didn't show up for their hearing. This person has a DUI. This person has a murder in his own or her own country. You've got to break it down and then bring that to the American people. You could turn it around almost immediately if you would do that, but they don't do it. And that is why the situation with the migrants in Minnesota got out of control. Because what the Democrats are doing is saying, oh, the hotel people, they're farmers, they're not a menace, and we're abusing them, and we're violating their rights. Well, Homeland Security has got to break it down for the American people to see exactly why these people were taken into custody.
And we have Michael Carey here.
Hey, Bill, Michael Carey, big fan. But the other thing, I agree with all of the above, but the other thing that they don't seem to be getting out there is that crime is at an all-time low nationwide. And, it's cause and effect. If you get the bad guys out of the system, crime is going down across the board, and that's something that doesn't seem to be a story that's being told well.
Because, Michael, it's not exactly that. In New York City, for example, most people who live in the city are very cautious now. Yet Mandami will get out there and say, oh, look how much crime has dropped. The reason it's dropped in New York City is that 4 out of the 5 DAs will not prosecute certain crimes. So that the crimes are committed, the victims are suffering, yet the DAs don't prosecute. That drives crime stats down. Yet the people in the subway, the people walking around dicey neighborhoods in New York City, they know the danger is there.
Yeah. The other day, that mentally ill person threw a person into the subway, a woman into the subway tracks, and then punched another woman in the face. Did you read about that, Bill?
Yeah, it's always going to happen, but the extent of it is the issue. So when I'm out in San Francisco over Super Bowl weekend, Gavin Newsom, the governor, is telling everybody the homeless situation is down 9% in California. How would he know? How would he know that? There's no reliable data to back that up. None.
Yeah, it's just BS.
Right. So you can say anything, but the people, they feel it. So when you go to the grocery store, some people are saying, I'm getting killed here. Other people are okay with it. All right. So what President Trump has to do, and the Republican Party, if they want to hold power, is they have to be very precise about their messaging. And that is the weakness right now in the Trump administration.
So the point is too also, Bill, it's February. Right. The midterms are November. So there's definitely time to sort of get the messaging right, don't you think, if it's done fairly quickly? Yeah. It's
a reorganization, though. And, see, Donald Trump has a tendency to want to do everything himself. And I would say, Mr. President, look, you got your hands full. You're already working 18 hours a day. Just put together a SWAT team that can come out and explain these complicated issues. And then when there's a real mistake like that social media thing about the animals, right? Admit the mistake. Just say, I didn't do it. We've sent it out. Somebody made an error where I would have, if I were President Trump, I would have called Barack Obama. I would have called him and said, look, Mr. President, I'm sorry that should have never been put out.
No, I agree. Bill, I want to explain to everybody what it is.
Do that if he would be a little magnanimous at those junctures. I'm telling you, his poll numbers have snapped back dramatically.
Yeah, no question. And Bill, it's obviously that video too, where it was sort of the Lion King video, and you're
That's
right.
What I'm talking about.
I agree. How about Trump on the world stage? And before we let you go, Bill, this just kind of came in. This is interesting. Take a listen to this.
News, WABC.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's getting heated over there in Munich at the Munich Security Conference, Bill, where the topic, Trump's not there, but everybody's talking Trump. Rubio gave a great speech, I thought, over the weekend. And then just a little bit ago, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was sort of in a heated exchange with a Czech politician because she was going after President Trump about Russia, about this, about that. And the person finally said, obviously you don't like the person, but he's getting a lot of incoming from her, from, Newsom, AOC. What do you make of all this? Have you been watching the Munich conference?
It doesn't matter, Rita. I mean, everybody knows there's partisan politics. If I'm sitting there and, the former first lady says, well, Donald Trump's selling out Ukraine, I look at her and I go, what do you mean? We're giving billions of dollars to defend Ukraine.
Yep.
What exactly will you have him do?
You know, it's interesting, Bill, in this case, it looks like she got some pushback, to your point, which is interesting.
Well, yeah, but it was done by a, middle European guy.
Right.
But what is she talking about? I don't know what she's talking about. What do you want? 4 years, Biden didn't do anything different than Trump. At least Trump's trying to get Putin to the table. At least Putin will take his calls. But the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez soundbite was the best.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
Oh, John, it was painful, Bill, didn't you think?
Well, Rita, you just hit it right on the mark. She was asked a very simple question. If China invades Taiwan, should the United States defend that island, Taiwan, which has been our policy since 1945? She could not answer the question. Stammered. I used it tonight, and I was just saying, and that shows you the level of intellectual capacity, not only of the Congresswoman, but of the entire progressive movement. I'll answer for her.
Yes.
There is no chance in hell the progressives would defend Taiwan against China, which is why the Chinese are pumping hundreds of millions of dollars into the United States to pay people to cause trouble at these demonstrations. They want Trump out.
Yep. No, great point.
He's too tough for them.
You bet.
Yeah.
Much too authoritative. And you'll see Trump gain in April. I've been involved with that, as some of you guys know. And she will make a deal with Trump, I predict. And a deal will be good for the United States. So, and then you got the tax refunds coming in. That should stimulate the economy even more. The stock market should do okay. You never know. But the president does have momentum, but it got to be clarified. And again, that is the weakness.
Bill O'Reilly, thank you for coming on this Monday morning. I can't believe we're halfway through February already, and we look forward to talking to you again real soon.
All right, thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you. We love it, Bill.